Welcome back to After School Reviews. Today we're going to have a look at the Terminator T-800 Endoskeleton figure. You can see it has the weird scan lines there. These aren't really scan lines. These are like the kind of like the intro. Inside this weird tag here. That's how I hang my figures up on the wall because the other ones usually fall off. The back of these are really cool. Kind of see right here, it's an endoskeleton chest of the T-800 here. And then there's even some fire to simulate the ending of the movie, which is pretty cool. And it says the target identified, and I think there's maybe a read-up model T-800 endoskeleton. It features a Skynet most advanced control systems, fully armored in a hyper-alloy shelf around vital areas. Shelf? Sheath? I don't know. And then it says the Terminator there, and the bottom is all the development and all that right there. The side says the Terminator, and it has Cyberdyne Systems right there. At the bottom it says Endoskeleton. Same thing on this side, and the top just says the Terminator. We'll have a close look at this figure open and out of its packaging. Here he is, open and out of its packaging. Now I did realize something. Terminator 1, Terminator 2, but if you look right here, Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 are down here on the base here. And I got Jurassic Park, Return of the Jedi, New Hope, I believe, and then Back to the Future back there, down there. And I guess I really shouldn't put these over here, but I still have them anyway for the review. And I also have my cartridge there. But this is, it's kind of a cool figure. It's kind of thin too. So maybe if I can, it's really fragile, and I know if you've ever seen this figure, either a review or you have this figure, you've seen it at stores and something like that. So we have a close look at the head sculpt here. It's done very nice. Oh man. I hate when this thing does not focus the way I want it to. You can kind of see that it does look like a T-800. It's got the red eyes. It's got the teeth that are bone colored and not metal. But on camera, it just doesn't look as good as it does with the human eye. It's not so metallic on the camera. For some reason, like right there and there, the black spot on the camera, it's not really visible to my eye. And then down here, those are kind of at depth right there. The sides here where the gears are look nice too. The jaw looks like there's a screw there. Looks pretty cool. And all the other designing and texturing on there. The figure I think is just a black, and what they've done is kind of harshly or over the top of it, dry brushed. I think that's what that is. Went over all this stuff with this metal to where it looks as if it's maybe scuffed up and scratched, and it adds depth to the figure rather than everything being sculpted out of this chrome material. Also see the pistons there. It's like really not painted that good right here behind the pistons. And I've tried to paint, I think, some of this figure. I don't remember what I painted though. Also the hand here. This chest piece. Torso. Really a lot to look at. And these other pistons down here. Other this thing. Back of this looks pretty cool. Screws this kind of is like not even at all. Like at all. But they do open, and that is accurate to the movie. That's not just to hide that, but that was a good idea. Because now you don't have to have all that ugly detail on there. And I don't think you can really see it to the front. Unless you're looking, but there's no way. And these do open in a scene in the Terminator. The first one, these are opening when he's walking. Also the spine here. I'll go over articulation first. Over the articulation. Practically the head here can swivel. Not too good because these cables are attached. But man, this thing's going to be a pain to focus. I don't think I've ever actually reviewed this guy, which is really a surprise because this is the only figure I've had ahead of the Terminator. First Terminator figure I ever got was this, so that's pretty cool. So it does swivel slightly. It goes up and down a little bit, but not great. These little wires here are also bendy and a lot of detail. Try and bend these so I can get a little bit closer. These shoulders go up, about so. These do swivel, so you can go up, but again, there's this cable here, so it gets kind of like caught and wiggles, and you don't want to snap that off. What is that, a bison? That's not a bison. I don't know what that is, but that swivels all the way around. And then the pistons here work, which is something cool on this figure. Don't know if the McFarlane ones do that or not, but you can kind of see that work. Both of these pistons work in here. And these are, I think, right here, maybe a little bit of loose right there too. They add that where they bend. And then right here is, I think, a swivel. Right here. Yeah, the hand swivels. And then here's the gun he comes with. It's the plasma rifle. It's done in this different material from the actual figure. Different metal. And it's got this brown rust to it. You can kind of see it in there. And it's also got a black depth in some of these areas. And it's painted black in some areas too. It's got this cool two thing there. I don't know, one's farther, one's closer, or something like that. Then it's got the magazine too. It's really cool. It's black. And the torso here swivels, but I broke off one of mine when I first got it. That's why this is actually a toothpick. It's just slotted in there and glued, but it's not really doing its greatness. Right here, the hips go out. Pistons here work too. You can see that right there. You pull. And there's two on each leg, so these kind of do tend to fall out because they don't peg here at the front. The legs don't go forward that great. If you try and bend them, they're not going to just straight up go forward. If you look at it at this angle, it looks forward, right? But if you look at it forward, you can see it's just kind of tilting it outward. But that's as close as you're going to get because those pivots or pistons there. And then the knees bend, actually pretty good. So forward, back, that's pretty good. They swivel down here. Well, maybe. I thought they did. Okay, these don't swivel. I'm getting the other one mixed up. The giant T-800. But they do swivel here at the feet. And these toes have up and down motion. I wish this toe right here didn't have just straight up, what's it called, chrome. The whole thing is just coated. And I almost wanted to put my black in there and then wipe that off. And it blended maybe with the rest of the figure. I decided to bring in some extra figures here. Like the T-800 Final Battle. Not the Final Battle, the Steel Mill. Final Battle's up there. But if you... I'm trying to get in here. The chest area. Whoa, that chrome is shiny on here. You can kind of get maybe a chrominess there. You can see it looks the same. There's more texture, more detailed texture on here. It's more popping out than this one is over here. It's more of a dome shape on this one. And the head here, I really doubt I can get this part because I don't want to move the hands at all. Or the hand out of the way. Maybe you can see that, sort of. Sort of. I'm also going to show this one for reference here. Now, I don't remember what this one was. You guys did comment on one of my videos and tell me what this was. But it was kind of just one color. And I didn't like that. I think it was just this color at the bottom of his foot. And I was just sculpted out of that. And I didn't like that color. So what I did was I took some of my chrome and I lightly went over this guy with some also reds too. I wanted it to be like, it's bloody, you know, because there was some salvation. I was like, I want this thing to be like straight up, it burned or something, and that's the flesh still on there, the blood and everything, if it was in a body. And it brought out a whole lot more to this figure. Looks really cool. The pistons on this one work too. Just on this one. And I think maybe the legs do too. Yes. And they swivel. That's where I was getting the other ones swivel, because they swivel right here. But it's a pretty cool figure. It's a lot bigger than the other one. You can kind of see as a height comparison there. Even taller than the NECA Arnold too as well. So, thank you guys for watching After School Reviews. Today we're going to look at the Terminator T-800 Endoskeleton figure. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.